What up, baby? It's your boy, Raider Will with the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. I am here today with our boy, the Cisco Kid, baby. We got a special episode for y'all tonight, so make sure that you guys stay locked in. We're gonna have a special guest come in later, but yo, brother, we're here to talk about the Raider Nation Summer Get Down. So, Cisco, brother, president of now Oakland chapter or Bay Area chapter, is that what we're going with?
The Bay Area chapter. Yes, indeed.
All right, brother. So, yo, president of the Bay Area chapter. Hey, let us know what's going down July the 12th, my brother.
July the 12th at the Raider Nation famous Ricky's in San Leandro. We got the first annual summer kickoff, and that's going to consist of obviously the Black Hole, Raider Nation. I think my little brother Tiny, aka Senor Raider Man's going to be in the house. I think Raider Villa, my man Al out of San Jose is coming out of retirement. Al Davis is going to be launching back into the Raider Nation scene once again. Excited about that. Man, we got obviously our brother Bumpin' Beto going to be playing all the tunes
We
for
got
us.
we,
We're
we
happy
got
to
our
have
special
him.
guest coming in.
All right, all right. Hey, there he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't he does not need an introduction, but you know that face. It is world famous. Mr. Lincoln 7-2 Kennedy. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's happening, my brothers? I'm doing wonderful, my brothers. How
Good.
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. But so once again, man, Lincoln, we go back, a few years from filming that what was it? It was a real estate commercial. Remember with the Kansas with no, it wasn't Kansas City, San Diego fan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Lincoln's debut as a kicker. Yeah, it was good times, man. Good times. That was about like 15 years ago, something
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, so long ago, hard to be remembered. You know what I mean? So it was all good,
Yeah.
man. It was all good. Glad to be a part of it.
That
Glad to be with you guys today. What's going on?
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So if you haven't formally got introduced, Raider Will, meet Lincoln Kennedy.
What's
Lincoln
happening, brother?
Kennedy, meet
Salute.
Raider Will.
Bless you,
How are you,
man.
brother?
I'm doing well. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. Actually, I was just, we were just introducing each other and stuff, and my wife was laughing because she showed me a picture of me being a fanboy and getting this hat signed by you in 2017, and she
Wow.
was like, "Hey, I remember that guy." She's like, "You look like a little kid right next to him."
Well, you're not alone, Will. There's a lot of people that look small around you, so you're not alone with that, brother.
Hey,
Right.
absolutely, brother. But thank you so much, man. And I'm like, thank you so much for coming on the show and being a part of this TBH adventure that we're doing in San Leandro and bringing back the
Yeah.
black hole to Ricky's, baby.
Well, it's long
Yeah.
overdue, to be honest with you guys. It really is. Look, Oakland was such a significant part to my life and my career, obviously, coming out to the Raiders in '96, and just being falling in love with the organization, falling in love with the fans. It was great people like you that really opened up your arms, made it feel like a family. And that's one thing that I'm
Yeah.
proud to be a part of the Raider Nation. And it's worldwide. It's not just in Oakland,
Yeah.
but Oakland is a heartbeat and always has been the heartbeat of the Raider Nation, and that's where it will always remain.
Exactly. Couldn't agree with you more, Lincoln. Yeah. So I don't know if you know it officially yet, but I actually moved back from the Bay, from Vegas.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Last month I made the move, came back, some personal family reasons. Family's good, but, needed to be home. So I came
Yeah.
back and, putting things together and what better way to kick it off? The black hole bring coming them back to Ricky's other than to have you on board. So once again, thank you for doing that for not
Well,
only the
I'm
Black Hole
humbled.
but Raider Nation.
Look, I'm humbled and I'm certainly appreciative. You guys extending the invitation to me. Anything I can do to help out the nation, I'm a part of, as you know. So, I'm happy for
Thank
you.
you.
If you're happy, welcome back to the
Oh yeah,
Bay. And Will, I appreciate it. It's the first time we're chatting, so it'll be with you as well.
No, thank you
yeah,
so much, brother. So this kind of leads me into my first question for you, Lincoln. And I was talking to Cisco a little bit earlier. I'll be like, You've been such a force in Raider Nation, both on and off the field. What's it like being embraced by the fans long after your playing career?
It really is truly humbling. And the best way to describe it is I've only had the luxury of playing for two organizations. One was the Atlanta Falcons. I was originally drafted by in '94. And their fan base was not owned by Arthur Blank like it is now. As it wasn't as resilient and as thorough as the Raider Nation was. Coming out to Oakland, I saw what it meant to be part of a program. I saw what it meant to be part of an organization. I also saw what it meant to be a professional family. And, that just made me want to go all out in everything I did. I realized at the time in 2004 when I retired, I realized that I couldn't play football anymore. So I had to hang up my cleats. And I didn't know what I was going to go into. But when I fell into the media market, the opportunity came to work with the Raiders starting on the sideline. I took full advantage of it. I mean, I really did. I was humbled. I worked with Tom Flores, Coach Flores, who's a Hall of Famer, and Greg Papa. We had some tremendously great shows together and great games. But it was a way for me to get back to the fan base because I always felt that I sort of had the knack to really relate to the Raider Nation. Probably better than anyone else out there could who wasn't affiliated with the Raiders, who was affiliated with the Raiders. So it was a blessing for me to be walking back with open arms. But more importantly, since then, I've been retired for over 20 years now, guys, and since then, it feels like it did yesterday when I walked on that field in 1996. It feels like that when Raider Nation season. When I walk into the stadium, I'm going to do my thing in the Raider group. You never leave. There's so many things that have happened in the world, so many things that have happened with the team over the last quarter of a century since I've been away. It still feels like home. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not open, okay? And I first that it's not open. It's Vegas. It's a different animal altogether. But, and I say this with a big but, you guys, the Raider Nation, makes me feel welcome, no matter where I am. Be it Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, wherever it is. Because the Raider Nation is worldwide. We have an unbelievable draw no matter where we play. Raider Nation is going to turn out. And it's so humbling to be recognized as I'm walking through the crowd or I'm heading to my responsibility. It's so humbling to be recognized so many years after I hung up my cleats.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, good. So what just before you jumped in, Lincoln, we were going over, Will and I were going over what's going to be happening on the 12th. So I'll just kind of recap that, and then obviously what's going on, but for the people that are listening, we're going to recap that. So July 12th, 1 to 7 p.m. We're going to be at the Raider Nation world famous Ricky's in San Leandro, kicking it off again. It's going to be our first Black Hole event back home in Ricky's. We have yours truly, Lincoln, coming out, special guest, signing autographs, taking pictures, meeting and greeting. And I got a little surprise for you, Link. I got a little cigar vendor coming through, going to be setting up for us.
You're speaking to my
Yes,
heart,
sir.
huh? You're speaking to my heart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You already know.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm looking forward to
Yes,
it, man. I really am.
Yeah. We're bringing back our old tailgate DJ, Bumpin' Beto, and
Nice.
obviously our sponsor, Modelo, is going to be in the house, So, man, it's going to be a great party, great event, and, can't wait to see everybody. And, it's going to feel like home again.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I can't wait. Hey, Cisco, so let me ask you this question, man. How important is it to keep Raider Nation culture alive in the Bay, especially after the team's move to Las Vegas?
Man, it means everything. If it wasn't, for me wanting to come back, I was hearing things, seeing things, and it actually, I won't say it broke my heart, but man, I felt like, man, it's Oakland, it's the Bay Area. Like Lincoln said, we're worldwide. It's like, why is it fluttering out? I'm not seeing anybody posting pictures, hosting events, anything like that. And I was just like, wow, you know what? Nah. So part of me moving back, that was on my agenda. It was probably number 3 on my agenda is connect with Raymond, the new co-owner of Ricky's, and talk to a few people. As you know, Lincoln, Wayne DeBow, Oakland Raider Nation Booster Club. He's on board. Talked to a few others that are happy that I'm bringing it back, and they can't wait to jump on board. So, and as Will, as you mentioned earlier before we jumped on, I renamed the chapter Bay Area because I want to encompass the Bay Area. And if we start kicking this off and other cities in the Bay Area want to launch chapters, then we'll start dividing it up like that. But right now I just wanted to encompass the whole Bay Area and get everybody together, and let's make this live again. It's home.
Absolutely. Uh, Lincoln, what inspired you to become part of this? To be like, hey, Cisco, I want to be a part of this. I want to come out there, meet the fans, take pictures, and be part of bringing back the Raiders to Ricky's.
I have always had an affinity towards the Bay Area, towards Oakland. Ever since I first came here, as I mentioned, in '96. And I was sad to see the team move. I understand the business side of it. I get it. It's business, and it has to run like a business. I also see the plight that has happened to Oakland specifically, and the sort of downfall, if you will, of what it used to be. Look, Oakland has always inspired me as a blue-collar city. I'm a blue-collar man. I'm from a working-class family. I've always been that way. As an offensive lineman, that's what I do. Okay, I'm a worker. So I'm not trying to have no set of elitism or anything like that. But what inspired me to come back and do this was, one, I was glad to hear Ricky's was reopened because I was sad to see it. So many things have been lost since the team left. You look at Oakland has transpired, now losing the A's and everything else. Oakland has really lost its identity. I knew it was going to happen when the Warriors when they moved over to San Francisco, obviously, because it's an opportunity for them to make more money. Again, it's a business. It comes down to business. You can't get, as Mark Davis tried to do so hard, and Al Davis, while he was still alive, may he rest in peace, tried to do so hard was get the stadium rebuilt to a company. So it was sad that we are one of the greatest sports franchises in sports history, American sports history, and we had to share a field with a baseball team. I looked around the league and I saw, places like Atlanta, who hasn't won shit, excuse my language, it hasn't won anything. They got 2 new stadiums. We couldn't get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was things like that really put a hole in my heart, if you will. And so when I was contacted by the guys in Cisco and Kenny Shedd, those guys, and they said, hey, look, Ricky's just running, open again. I want to know if you can get out. First thing I did was open up my calendar and say, when can we do it? And when can you make it happen? And I know it's only going to be a small few that come out, but to me, it's reminiscent of the old days when I used to make appearances, like before games or during the weeks, stuff like that. It's reminiscent of the old times. Seeing some of the old faces. We're all older. We all got responsibilities. Some of us got grandkids to be back. So, so times have changed and moved on. But one thing that we love and one thing that we all share, or a true, genuine pride, is that brand that you guys wear on your head, that hat, and on your chest system, Raider Nation. That's an empire. That's a powerful brand, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And that's my bird in the background. I'm sorry, I should make a little bit of noise for talking, but I got a bird in my office because there's a storm outside. I had to bring it inside. So please excuse the extra sounds that he's making.
It's all right.
Well, don't feel bad. I'm surprised Otto's not peeking over my shoulder. I got my dog in the back. I'm about to take him for a walk, but
Look at you, Cisco, multitasking as I am.
But again, hey, you know how we roll, Link. You know how we roll. Yeah. But again, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for what we're doing out here in the Bay Area. And again, it's not me by myself. I got a solid team with bartender Danny, Akeem, Raider Man. And again, the Raider Nation, Black Hole family here in the Bay. Obviously this is where the Black Hole started, and got tremendous support here from the people that are still here, still rocking the silver and black, and still proud to say they're Raider fans. And we're gonna make it happen. And like I said, man, looking forward to it. And I can't thank 7-2 enough for coming out, man. It's gonna be a good time. Be a good time.
My pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, Cisco, let me ask you this. What is so special about Ricky's, and what's your favorite moment at Ricky's, brother?
Wow. There's been a lot, man. I was there for all 3 seasons: A's, Warriors, and of course Raiders. I can't pinpoint it to say one particular time at Ricky's, but because they all were great, just the camaraderie, like, what like Lincoln talked about, just seeing everybody, hanging out with everybody, talking about the game, talking about what they saw, who they hung out with, I sent it to JT the Brick, man. It was my son. I'll say that because it was my son. It was my son first time taking him to Ricky's, and for a Raider event, mind you. And JT was there, and I go, "Oh man, there's my buddy JT," and he knew who JT was because we had listened to him on the radio and whatnot. And he like he was meeting, Rocky Balboa or something. He was so excited, like, "What? That's JT?" I said, "Yeah." So I brought him over there, and he was like, I go, "Pop, this is JT the Brick. JT is my son Adrian." And man, he was just all like, "Huh?" Like he was a little boy seeing Santa Claus. You know what I mean? It was exciting. So to reverse a little bit, that I would say that was my greatest time at Ricky's, was seeing my son lit up to meet JT the Brick.
Oh, all right. All right. We have a question out here from Raider Dad. I'm going to ask Lincoln because it's a really good question. It says, Lincoln, you've watched Raider Nation through a few generations. What does it mean to see others carrying on the Raider way and creating opportunities for kids to experience Raider Nation?
Well, that's big coming from Raider Dad, because part of this program has always been to help the experience of seeing a Raider game. And so I know that personally, I haven't had a chance to meet them and talk to them. But the thing is that we've lived long enough to see a huge transition in the way sports are watched and appreciated.
Yep.
Okay? Within that transition, one thing that I can definitely hold on to and say that's true is I appreciate the fact that generationally, the idea of being a Raider fan has been handed down. I'll tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my son's 18 now, but we're talking about family stories. Just I share one with my son. I think my son was probably about 6 or 7. Anyways, long story short, we're in the car, we're driving, and his brother's in the back seat with him, and we're all in the car, and we're talking football. And so my kids didn't get a chance to see me play because I was already off the field. Hey, stop. Anyway, didn't get a chance to see me play on the field, but they know. I mean, I've got my shrine. We're in my office right now, but that's why I got my shrine going on. So they know what I did. There's no secret to what I achieved. But anyway, my son Savon was in the car. We were talking about favorite teams with favorite colors and stuff like that. Anyway, my son Savon said at the time, he said, "I like the Raiders. I mean, I like the Buccaneers because they're Irish." Now, mind you, he was born after Super Bowl, right? So I immediately stopped over the car, pulled over the car, looked behind him, and said, "Get out." He's like 7 years old. I said, "Get out of my car." His eyes got all big. I said, "Get out of my car." I said, "First of all, the Raiders are a pirate too. We don't like the Buccaneers. We don't like anybody else. If you do not believe silver and black, you cannot be a part of the family." That's the respect I have witnessed handed down generation after generation after generation.
Oh yeah.
That's what I appreciate.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about the nation. And it doesn't matter what generation you call it. Like Cisco talks about his son with the affinity to JT. I appreciate when young kids come up to me and say, "I know who you are. My dad watched you play, my mom watched you play, or whatever. I know who you are." That's heartwarming. I mean, that really is. And so that's what I appreciate the most about being a part of this family, because I think of it as a family. No matter where we go, no matter where we play, there is a turnout of Raider fans. 2016, I watched Raider Nation take over the city of New Orleans. 2015, I watched Raider Nation take over London. You see what I'm saying? So I've seen it all. I've been all around the world, and every time I did for a Raider event, the Raiders have been well represented. Not so much by the team, definitely by the fans.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, Lincoln, we got some more questions coming in real quick. We'll get these answered real quick. And it says, how do you feel about the state of the Raiders after the moves we have made this offseason? This is by Matty B.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good question. I think the team is looking up. It's looking promising. But if you know me, you listen to me, and anytime I've talked and said anything, I said, I don't care how good you look on paper, what you put on the field.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to go
Exactly.
and show me. You know, you got to show me that you can do it.
Yep.
Right now, unfortunately, the Raiders at the bottom of the division looking up. We talked about it on the other Raider podcast I did this morning with you and Chantel. We're looking up because last year we got split by all the teams in the division.
Yep.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You're only as good as your last product. So,
Exactly.
changes that have been made. With Pete Carroll coming in, with Chip Kelly being assigned offensive coordinator, with the players drafted, the acquisitions of free agents. Yes, we lost some. Robert Slay, Nate Hobbs, just named a few with good players, I thought, that we would try to hold on to, but we couldn't. But we also have got some good players in. And so I'm excited about the upcoming season. Here's one thing that you guys know that I don't do. I don't never put an emphasis on preseason. Because half the time you don't play your players, and half the players down there don't get the damn job. And the other time is, what are you going to do in the regular season? You can't. You got to show them something. So there's still some pieces that have to be in place. I'm excited about the season. I'm excited about the possibilities, but at the same point, it's a wait and see moment for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say just like that, Lincoln. And speaking of that, like you said, in preseason, correct me if I'm wrong, but the season that we went to the Super Bowl, you took us to the Super Bowl. You were part of that team. Didn't we go 0-4 in the preseason?
I don't remember that stat. I can barely remember yesterday. But yeah, I don't know that. But I will say this. Look, I played for coaches that did coach very vanilla. And I thought if I'm trying to remember how Gruden did it, because I played mostly under Gruden, I think he was very generic and basic in his philosophy, offensive, defensive, which I'm not surprised. The only thing I was a part of, the only thing I was proud of doing is that whenever Rick Shannon was on the field, I needed to be on the field. I didn't care where it was, who we're playing against, I needed to be on the field. I needed to protect my quarterback. That was my responsibility. But I'm not sure about that. I do know this from that Super Bowl year. I do remember we came out the gate 4-0, and then we lost our next 4. So we were 4-4 at the break, and then by that point we had that's the game we went to Denver, and Rod Woodson returned a 100-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That completely changed our season round. We didn't lose until we got to the Super Bowl after that. So we were on a tremendous run, winning those remaining games.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I remember that well. Exactly. Love that.
Yep. Lincoln, besides the team winning, what is a way that we can bring that culture down to Las Vegas? We all know winning brings culture, but we need something else. What else can that be to change that and to bring that type of culture?
It's a complex question, and there's no easy way to answer it. Look, there's not one way. The thing is that the Raider Nation has to continue to show support, because I know from the organization standpoint, I truly appreciate what you guys bring to the table. It's hard to show that when you have the results and what you had. And I've often told my partner, Jason Horowitz, on the air, when he's talking about the amount of different jerseys in the stadium, the Raiders got to win. Yeah. Got to win. The team has got to do their part. Once the team does their part, I know the nation will come back. I know the nation will show up. But it's also it goes back to what we talked about earlier, being blue collar. Vegas is expensive. I'm not trying to deter anybody from going, but Vegas is expensive. And when you talk about how much it costs to buy, to travel, hotel, tickets, food, this is not an easy answer. You see what I'm saying? This is not, let's just do it. Let's put it on a credit card. I don't want anybody to go in debt to watch the Raider game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I say it's a complex question to answer, and it's not just one thing. But I do feel this. I think if the Raiders or the team were able to create more wins and have more wins, create that home field advantage that we had in Oakland, because we won games in Oakland. You see what I'm saying? And people want to come back. When people want to come back, they want to see a winner. If they're going to spend their hard-earned money, they want to see a winner. The team has got to do their part. Until we get to that stage, it's going to be slim coming, slim picking. But there's still, and Cisco knows this because he lived with for a while, there's still a handful of Raider Nation proud and hardcores that do their diligence and come out and support the team. But even in their eyes, I can see the frustration, because it's like, dude, this is getting old. This is hard. I got to work. I work hard. I want to celebrate. I want to come to be physical. So the team's got the
Yep.
good part.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, sir. I mean, I 100% agree with that. I mean, like us winning, us being a part of something positive changes a lot of things, Cisco. What do you think we can do as a fan base? Because I feel like as a fan base, we always expect us to go from 0 to 100. You know, there's no weight.
Right.
Nobody wants to, hey, one draft pick is going to change the whole team and we're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we hear it every year. What can we do as a fan base to be like, hey man, we need to get through this process and things like that, in your opinion?
It's the unity, Lincoln touched on it. We're worldwide. I mean, I've said this before to you on one of our shows. I remember being vacationing in Tulum, Mexico, and we were in, the dining area, and this guy just screamed out Raiders because he saw my Raider hat. And he comes over and he's from Iowa. He's like, "Hey man, you from Oakland?" I'm like, "Well, I'm from San Francisco, but yeah, I'm a Raider fan." I go, "Yeah," and he had on some Raider board shorts, and he was like from Ohio or something like that. And it's just that love when you see that silver and black, whether it's a hat, a hoodie, shirt, whatever. We all get a little giddy inside, but that's one of us. That guy or that girl, they're one of us. And it just, it's a good feeling inside, basically. So I think that as a community, we're bigger than a community, but just showing that love, like what Rob used to say, the aloha spirit. You can come to our tailgate, come with a positive attitude, wear black, and your family. So Raider Nation knows we're all family. So as long as that continues to grow, it's going to last forever until for the Raiders' existence is how I look at it.
Absolutely. Hey man, I mean, like, my suggestion is real simple, guys. I'm like, be patient, have a coach come in, see the guys that they bring
Oh, yeah.
in, and see them grow, have them develop, and see what they do. I'd be like, we're too impatient as Raider Nation when we come in and say, hey, we're going to come in and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to do this. It says, patience, members. This team needs to gel. It'll take a few more years, but Spytek and Carroll have this team going in the right direction. This coming from Captain Jack.
Yeah.
So, guys, be patient out there. If you guys know Captain Jack,
Yeah.
he's not the most patient guy, but he's telling you guys to be patient. Lincoln, here's a
Oh, yeah.
question for you. It says, what's your favorite memory as a Raider on the field? This is coming from the Predator.
Oh man,
Mm.
so many good times.
Mhm.
You know, it's hard for me to just pinpoint one because there's so many fond memories of my days playing in the Raiders, playing with the Raiders. I will say this. I think Cisco's marketing of the event reminded me of one fond night. After we won the AFC Championship against the Titans, hoisting up the AFC jersey, the AFC trophy, the Lamar Hunt trophy, and in the stadium in front of the fans, and carrying it around the stadium as I'm high fiving and stuff like that, and shaking hands and talking about we're going to Super Bowl. I realized that we're on our way to Super Bowl. It's a dream come true. That moment in time, because it was an unbelievably physical game. It was truly a physical game. I had never been so tired after a football game than I was after, and so relieved that the fact we found a way to win. For me, it was like Christmas, all wrapped up in one point because I'm going to play in the Super Bowl in my hometown, San Diego.
Yeah.
Whoa, never thought that was going to happen. And it came towards the end of my career because, guys, to be honest with you, and I told this only a few times, if we had won that game, I was going to retire after that. I was physically and mentally burnt out. I was tired of the game.
Yeah.
And I was ready to roll off in the sunset. And I said, you know what? This would be a dream come true. If I could finish my career at this stadium, I call it the Jack Murphy Stadium. If I could finish it at that stadium and win a Super Bowl and hoist that trophy, I would run off in the sunset and be as happy as I can. Didn't happen, obviously. And, we made a choice collectively to come back and try the next season. The next season was a disaster. And so on the heels of that, I ran out of gas. I talked to Mr. Davis, shortly after that, when I realized the severity of my injury, the last injury that ended my career, I said, with all due respect, I just don't have it in me. And I need the organization, with all due respect, I need the organization to find a way to move on, get somebody else to replace me, because there's going to be a hole in that right offensive line, the right side of that offensive line. And that's what it was. So I think that's just to speak on one of my fondest memories, but this has been so many. I can remember, I remember when we were playing against the Chiefs, and it was a night game. I don't know if it was a Thursday night game or Sunday night game, but it was raining cats and dogs. And we whipped their ass.
Oh, yeah.
We ran all over.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, let's keep running the ball.
Yeah.
We were smashing them. We were moving. Oh, my God. It was such a great film. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Anyway, a little side moment. But there's so many fun moments I can speak on, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that one's mine. That one is mine. When we won the AFC Championship at home, man, that was it for me. I was like, wow. It was truly amazing. I mean, we had LL Cool J as a halftime show, rocking the half white, black Raider jersey. It was just a great day, man. It was a great day from beginning to end. It was a great day.
Caveat, for the most part, when I was talking with some of the older fans of the Raider Nation, they felt that they were gypped when the team moved from Oakland down to LA and they wanted to come Super Bowl. It's like, dude, it took our team. They were here, you know what I mean? So they felt a little bit slighted coming back and being able to put the smile on those faces. And I didn't care, look, whatever the record was during that time, we showed that place out. People were there. I mean, Cisco talked about the tailgate. You should go look at the tailgate and see that no matter rain or shine, win or loss, Raider Nation is coming to show and support their team. And that's what I love about the nation.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if I shared this with you, Will, and Lincoln. I don't know if you know this or not. There was at one time that the LA Raiders played at the Coliseum. It was a preseason game versus the Houston Oilers. That's how far back it was, the Houston Oilers. We ended up losing that game, but somebody had spray painted a Raiders shield on the floor, on the asphalt, in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And people, like the locker room, people were walking around it. People were driving around it. They weren't walking on it. They weren't driving on it. Nothing. That's how much respect, we look at that shield as like it's the American flag. You know what I mean? It's, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's the same way it is in the locker room. When they give a two towards the Allegiant, they're not walking the shield. The shield is rolled off. They're not walking the shield. You gotta show respect to something.
Yep.
So,
That's sacred ground.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yep.
Oh, wait, here we go. Captain Jack says 1989, Cisco.
Yeah, 1989. Yep.
So
yeah, I just graduated.
Lincoln, everybody's talking. Oh, go ahead. Hey, Lincoln.
No, I was just going to say that's right. I always forget that me, Kenny, and Lincoln were all the same age.
Oh, hey, we ain't going to give those numbers out, guys. I mean, 23, 35.
I'm still rocking the 32 until someone tells me differently, all right?
Oh, I got you. Hey, no grades coming in just yet. Hey, no grades coming in just yet.
But I can shave those. It's all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Lincoln, let me ask you this, man. Everybody always talks about the quarterbacks, wide receivers, everything like that, but I like to talk about the big sexies up front, the big war daddies that make it happen. I'll be like, everybody knows if your O-line, if your dudes up there ain't moving people, if they ain't blocking people, it don't matter who we got lined up in the back, we ain't doing nothing. So, Lincoln, what is your thoughts or evaluation of this year's squad up front?
The offensive line is incredibly thin. They've got to figure out a way to get Colton Miller signed. Absolutely need him. But I will say it's a work in progress, and it's something that I've called out for many years, and I think they've achieved it in paying attention and bringing some guys in, but there's not a lot of depth there. So that's going to be critical going forward. Again, and here's another thing, and I've seen many matches and different combinations of guys and stuff like that. Here's another thing. You've got to figure out who your starting five are and play them together. Not pieces here, pieces there. It doesn't work. Offensive linemen are based on consistency and a lot of nonverbal communication. My guard next to me needs to know how I'm going to block a tandem block or a double team or something like that without me having to say it. We practice it together, and we work it together in the game. Game speed is different than practice speed. You're never going to be able to duplicate game speed in practice. So I need to see how he does at full speed. Same as my center, my other left guard, my other left tackle. I need to see how we do unanimously together at one time, functioning as one. Offensive line, and I told my sons, because I got two sons who played this game, I told both of my sons, look, you're playing a position that doesn't get a lot of glamour, doesn't get a lot of glory, but the reward and the satisfaction is knowing that one, your team won, and two, you did your job effectively. That's where your gratification comes. You're not going to get a bunch of praise. It's not that you're missing, but these days, it's not a fact. You can make money at it. You can make money playing offensive line just like any other position. The girls are there. You know what I'm saying? So you might not be on the nightly news every night, or you might not be talked about in the paper. But I just great pride and satisfaction when I look at those rushing yards. You see that we rushed for 247 yards in Toronto. So we beat the Chargers down 36-9. You know what I'm saying? I take personal pride in that, and that's where offensive line play. You got to take pride in just whooping people's ass.
Yes. You need to be nasty.
That's right.
Yep.
So,
love it.
Cisco, Lincoln, let's bring up the event one more time so that way I know that Lincoln has places to go, people to see. But, guys, July the 12th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., San Leandro, wake up, baby, because Lincoln Kennedy, TBH is linking up, and we are bringing the Raiders back, baby, to Ricky's. So, I see a bunch of people in the chat, a bunch of people everywhere. Make sure that you guys are letting people know and bring them up and let Brother Cisco know, and you guys will see Big 7-2 out there, baby, representing. So, Cisco,
sir.
Let them know,
and one key thing, it is free admission. I might get a couple $5 here and there to walk up and take a picture with Lincoln, on the side note. No, I'm just playing. No, but it's absolutely free. Welcome. Just like I said, just like our tailgate, wear black, come with a positive attitude, and we're going to make Ricky's one happy family that night, man. We're going to have some fun, smoking cigars, listening to some good music, some ice cold Modelo's, cocktails. What more could you ask?
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Lincoln, anything from you for Raider Nation?
Look, Raider Nation, it has been a trying time, and I'm saying this directly to you and all the people who hear my voice. It has been a trying time for the organization, the players, the fans. I get it. I trust me, I get it, and I'm right here with you. I understand that patience is a quality that is a virtue. Not everybody has it. As well as every year when the draft comes out, I see it all around the league, where everybody thinks that player is going to put them over the top. It doesn't work that way. It takes a little bit more time, a little bit more chemistry than that. But I do think they're headed in the right direction. And I'm proud of the organization, proud to be a part of the fan base as you are, as well as being a part of the organization. So my salute to you is just keep the pride, keep the love, keep coming back, and keep supporting this team. We'll figure it out, I promise.
Yes, sir. Okay. Hold on, Cisco. We have Rachel in here. She says, Black Hole for life. Hey, special salute to Rachel Rivera out there, Black Hole Rob's wife. Hey, we cannot wait to see you out there at the event. She's out there supporting the Black Hole still, baby. So, guys, get out there, meet Rachel, meet Lincoln, see Cisco. We can't wait. Raider Nation, it's all about one nation. It's all about one team.
There's only one nation. There's only one nation.
You already heard from Lincoln, baby. It's all about the Raiders.
One love, one pride, one people, one nation.
You heard it here, baby.
Yep.
Salute.
Yep. All right.